today I'm going to make some sprouts using just a regular canning jar, and I'll show you how to set this jar up to make your sprouts. I ordered some organic seeds online off of Amazon, and you can do that too. Today I'm going to do some clover seeds, and what you need to do first is just to take a couple tablespoons of seeds and put them in water and let them soak for a few hours to make sure that they have absorbed all of the water. So I'm going to just let these soak and then come back to them when they're ready. This is just a regular piece of nylon screen that you would use on your window, and I've washed it really well several times so I know it's nice and clean, and I'm just going to cut it so it will fit over the top of my jar. And so I'm putting the jar down here, and I'm just going to cut around it, and I want to leave several inches around the jar. Let's just put the top on and make sure that's going to work well. And just screw this on. Sure enough, I have a generous amount around the edge of the jar, so I feel like that's big enough. Now, after you've had your seeds soaking in water for a couple hours, you dump them in the jar, and I'm probably going to need to add more water in here. Some of them are going to get stuck in here, so I will need to rinse that. So let's go over to the sink so I can add a little bit more water. So you can see that some of the seeds kind of got stuck in the glass. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water to make sure I get all of these good seeds in here. And you're going to want to rinse your sprouts twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. And it usually takes about 5 to 7 days for them to come to maturity so you can eat them. But when these are ready, this whole jar will be full and packed with yummy sprouts. Now I'm going to put the top on and then just set it to drain. Put it on nice and tight and allow it to drain. Okay, so now I need to store this inverted like this. So you can store it any way you need to, but it will drip a little bit, so make sure you have something to catch it. And I'm going to just put it in the back corner of my cupboard. I also want to show you these kind of sprouting containers that you can buy online when you buy seeds. This is a regular sprouter, and the nice thing about this, I already have my seeds in here, but I can rinse it like this. I rinse it twice a day, and then I just put it back into the storage container and it drains right in there. So it's important when you make your sprouts that you rinse them thoroughly 2 times a day. I think a mistake that some people make is they just put a little bit of water in there to moisten them, and then their sprouts end up going bad. So here's how I rinse them. I put plenty of water in, and this is cold water, cool water. And I fill it all the way up and swirl them around. Make sure the water gets all the way through them. Get a close-up of these sprouts so you can see them. And then remember to store them inverted. And I want you to look closely. There are some hulls and seeds that have washed down to the bottom. There's some that just didn't sprout. So I'm going to wash those away when I take them out of the jar. It's been 7 days that my sprouts have been growing, and it's time to harvest them. So instead of rinsing them this morning, I'm going to get them out in a clump and then kind of rinse them in the sink to allow the hulls and seeds that have not sprouted to wash away. And before I do that, I'm going to prepare this container by putting a paper towel in it. That's where I'm going to store my sprouts. And they'll keep for several days like that in the fridge. I'm just going to get them out a little at a time. rinse off the hulls that did not sprout. They easily wash away. And then I want to separate the sprouts as I put them. Separate the sprouts as I put them in the container so they're not clumped together. Now I'll get out another bunch of them, just enough that fills my hand. Oops, they're all coming out here. So I've got the rest of them. I'm going to rinse the hulls and seeds that did not sprout away. There'll be a little bit left in there, and you can eat those too. You don't have to worry about if there's a little bit of hulls left in there. I like to get as many out as I can. Seems to help them last longer. And now I'm going to just separate them as I put them in this container so they're not all clumped up. All of them in there, and over the top just going to wrap the paper towel around them and then put the top on tight, and they will last in the fridge for several days. If you're anything like us in our family though, you're going to eat them before they ever have a chance to go bad. So I'm going to now wash this out and get another batch of sprouts going. I also started these yesterday. These are radish seeds. So when you rinse them, make sure that you fill the jar completely with water. Give them a good swirl so you're thoroughly rinsing your seeds. And radish seeds actually grow a little bit quicker than these clover seeds do. So they'll probably be ready in about 5 days. I just put those down in there yesterday. Okay. My last group of seeds I have to rinse are my alfalfa seeds. So having several containers going at the same time allows me to always have sprouts for my salad.
Make your own video for Community Ed. Contact us at getlearning.org.